Hey everyone, George with the Art of Water here, and giving you an update on the Scarlet, Badis, or Dario, and just want to talk to you a little bit about their feeding situation. I got these fish from a friend, and this is a nano tank. This is about 5 gallons. These fish aren't very big at all. They get to be no more than 3/4 of an inch to an inch long at full maturity. Males are very dominant in the industry as being able to find. Females are very, very rare. I do have one female with the three that are in here. I have two males and one female. Not really the best situation for that setup, but that's just how it turned out. These were a gift from a friend of mine who thought that I would enjoy them. The bottom line is that I've had them approximately 4 days now. They've been in this tank. This is a really nicely planted tank for a nano tank like this. These plants are not at full maturity, of course, but they will grow out over a period of time. We've chosen a lot of good plants wisely here. The stone is maple stone. We have a little bit of ironwood in the center here. Just to give some tannins to the water, which these fish and most fish from that part of the world in India do like. The problem that you run into with these fish are, number one, females are extremely hard to find, if you can find them at all. And number two, the eating situation can be rather taxing and difficult for those who are intermediate hobbyist or beginner hobbyist. I don't recommend these at all because you are going to have to wean them from either live food like brine shrimp or blackworms or something of that nature to dry foods or frozen Daphne, something of that nature. So far, I've had these 3 days. I've tried several different foods on them. I have not had any success with them eating. So I went out and got some Daphne frozen, and still no success with getting these guys to eat. So no concern at this point here. I am going to get some live brine shrimp over the next day or so, and this is what they've been being fed before they reached me. So I know that at some point here I can get them on that diet, and then wean them more towards, once they're more comfortable with their environment, wean them more towards their diet that I prefer, which would be frozen Daphne or even some pellet foods with good quality pellet foods, that is. Anyways, that's the update for now on these fish. Please give me a thumbs up on this and subscribe if you can. And if you have any comments or questions, I sure could use your help on that. If you know anything about these fish and want to tell me a little bit more about how you care for them and getting them off live food, it is kind of a pain to do that. I really would not have accepted these fish had I known that live food was the only source of food that they were going to take right away. I really wasn't interested with as many tanks as I have in getting into a situation like that. But the bottom line is that we are where we are, and we're going to try to be successful at getting these guys to wean off the brine shrimp at some point once I get the brine shrimp going with them, because I don't want them to get to a point where they're not eating and then they don't come back from it. They are very susceptible also to water conditions, so it's easy to be concerned and overfeed them and end up with a polluted tank. I am going to probably, until I know that these guys are eating properly, I'm probably going to do a water change of about 1/4 of the tank daily until I am positive that they're eating what I'm putting in the tank. Until then, I just think it's probably wise of me to do those quarter water changes daily until we can get that straightened around. George with the Art of Water, if you have any questions, like I said, leave me a comment, and please ring that bell, and let me know when you've got something going on or you have a question. and I'll certainly get back to you. And if you have like any ideas, like I said, about getting these fish on a steady diet of something other than live brine, Daphne would be the ideal situation for me, for my schedule. But if anybody else has any other ideas, ring me up, make a comment, and I'll certainly get back to you. George with the Art of Water, we'll talk to you again soon.